Welcome to the Down South Hunting Podcast. I'm Adam Cruz with Mike Higman, and we have a special episode for you tonight. Something a little bit different, a little bit of the Yawt. Mike, how are you doing, man? It's been a while.
Man, I'm doing good. You know what's so funny? I just noticed as I said that, I want to say, I bet there's like 5 episodes where my first line in the show is, man, I'm doing good.
And my first line when I do the intro is, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
We might as well put that on repeat.
Yeah, I guess, so this is not the same night we recorded it, but we might be in a little bit of a laughing mood because of the interview with Yawt. That guy is hilarious.
Yeah, it was like having a stand-up comic on this show, so it was fun, man. That was different.
Not exactly our normal stuff. We didn't get deep into tactics. We didn't talk biology a whole lot, but there was a lot of funny stories.
Man, you know what? It's a little bit what I thought podcasting would be more like instead of what we've tailored it to, which I actually really like our format, because when it feels like when we're interviewing our guests, we're trying to get down to business and pull out strategies or stories and nuggets for both us and the listeners. But man, when talking with the Yawt with David, it was just having a good time talking hunting and just having fun, you know?
Yep, I gotta agree. Before we get to that though, I know you were able to get some turkey hunting in. How's that going for you?
Man, I finally got to. I didn't get to go turkey hunting. I just pretty much demanded it. Took a day off and drove down a couple of hours to one of the best WMAs in the state. And I went with a guy that's been. I talked to one of our friends on Hunting in the South Facebook group. Kind of got literally some GPS coordinates of where some birds were at while he was down from North Carolina. It was Patrick. And anyways, man, we just struck out. I mean, we got there, didn't see any turkey sign, didn't hear any gobbles. I mean, I was with Jason and that I went to Kentucky with, and he's hunted there before and just didn't have any luck. I mean, we hunted hard, didn't even eat lunch. Finally at 2:00, we're getting to the point. I mean, feels like kind of almost give up point. The wind's blowing real hard, can't hear real good. And bam, we hear a turkey gobble. We ended up finding 2 turkeys gobbling, but they were across a creek, which was more like a river because you couldn't wade that thing. I was in dire need of a kayak, but there ain't no way I was going to get one back there. So make a really long story short, that was the only 2 birds that we had contact with, and there was just no way to get to them, and they had no desire to want to fly over to us. So it's one of those things, man. If I want to kill a turkey this year, I'm going to have to take some more time off to do it. And I tell you what, next year I'm going to have to find some more areas to hunt and just be willing to do some more driving like I did this week. And that's just what it's all about. You can't kill a turkey at the house, and you can't kill turkeys if you can't find turkeys. So anyways, enough of my excuses. How has your turkey season been so far?
Well, you can't kill one at the house. You know what else you can't kill one? You can't kill one if you never go turkey hunting. My season is over. The season's up here in Florida, and I didn't get to go a single time. Pretty disappointed because I was excited about, putting some of these tactics and stuff we've been talking to into use. And with that family property I was hunting, not going to have access to that next year. There was a lot of birds there, but basically life got in the way. I'm 3.5 hours from there, and I got kids in sports, and that's more important to me than hunting, and especially turkey hunting. But I'm definitely I'm gonna make it happen next year. I'm gonna commit to you now. Next year I'm gonna be doing some turkey hunting. I'm gonna put a turkey in the freezer next year. I'm excited about next year already. But the other thing is I've got some really cool stuff going on with me personally wise, and I look forward to sharing that with everybody on the podcast, in the coming months. But just time wise, it's eating me up. So hopefully all that's going to be cleared up by deer season though, and I'm ready to start transitioning into deer season already. So you're going to have to tie up turkey season for the Down South Hunting Podcast and put a bird on the ground for us. And I'm going to start transitioning to deer hunting already. And we just got off the phone with Warren Womack, who's not the interview you're about to listen to, but he is going to be coming up next week, and I know that's something y'all are not going to want to miss. I loved hearing him talk about hunting.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. Warren is another one that's just got so many really great stories. We literally could have talked to Warren all night just about the different deer kills and strategies that he's put into place and to get it done. And super interesting guy.
So before we get into this interview with David, I just want to ask the listeners. I was going through our reviews, and we read every single one of those. So thank you so much for anybody that's taken the time to do that on iTunes. And I just wanted to ask if you have not done that yet. I know we have a lot of new listeners. They've been kind of few and far between, and we have not been asking for them. I think part of that is iTunes has made it a little bit trickier to do. But if you'll take the time to do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Especially if you take the time to write something personal as far as, what you like or don't like about the podcast. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, we get all kinds of feedback via email, even, things that audience members or listeners think that we could possibly fix or do better, or maybe conversations that they would like to hear us have with certain individual hunters or different tactics. It's good, man. I like the engagement and the interaction.
And, we're making strides. The podcast is growing, and we're starting to get the attention of some major sponsors. So, if you guys enjoy the podcast, if you could help us out with those few little things. The other thing is if you could subscribe to the podcast, that helps us out a whole bunch as well. And, of course, share it with your friends. But we're doing things as far as growing. And if we can get a couple sponsors on board, obviously you as listeners that, aren't necessarily excited to have sponsors, but that gives us the ability to upgrade some equipment. It gives us the ability to maybe do some more traveling. There's a lot of things that we would like to be doing with the podcast, and sponsors that give us that ability. So, and once we bring those guys on, like Nomad, who's starting to work with us, just if you could reach out to them on social media and just let them know that you're glad that they're working with us.
With all that, Mike, let's get David Ellis from Mississippi, Mr. Yawt, on the line.
Y'all get ready to laugh. All right, we got on the line David Ellis, and he might be better known to you as Yawt. And this is somebody I'm excited to talk to. I think this is going to be a real fun conversation. Somebody we've been trying to get to for a few weeks now, ever since the beginning of turkey season. So welcome to the show, David.
All right. How y'all guys doing? I'm doing good over here.
Oh, I'm doing real good. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, man, I can't complain.
So David, I'm excited to hear about Yawt. Maybe just start us at the beginning. Tell us how you got started. And maybe first, what is Yawt?
Yeah. Yawt is just me being from the South. What I call it is it's a southern hen yet with a draw. Us southern folks have a little draw, and sometimes the women got even more of a draw. So it's just kind of like a hen yelp, just with a little southern draw. But one day I was doing a little video, just messing around and just talking, and I was talking about turning this old turkey on a limb by put that Yawt on him, and I guess I meant to say yelp, but it's just the way I talk. So it come out Yawt, and the next thing I know, it just went crazy, and people were just Yawt this and Yawt that, and I guess the next thing I turned into the Yawt. I don't know. So social media just kind of blew up, and that's all, man. I was just blessed. I mean, just trying to be silly. Not say really just silly, but just telling a story about killing turkey, kind of being a little funny, and it was just my personal page. It wasn't even anything that I had set up for Yawt or anything like that, and it was just we ended up doing a page, just to help keep people off my personal page as much as I could. And man, the views just went to the hundreds of thousands, and that next thing you know, I'm talking to people like y'all, just having a good time with it, going around and hunting places, and I've always turkey hunted, so talking about turkey hunting has always been easy to me, especially if you know what you're talking about. A lot of people, they just talk and they don't know what they're talking about. So usually I know everything about. I say you don't know everything about turkey hunting, but I know a lot about turkey hunting and know nothing about everything else that works.
I'll tell you something that I thought was funny last year when it was last year that you kind of caught on with the Yawt, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, it just started like the beginning of turkey season last year. It just kind of, it went from the first video from last year, first turkey from last year.
So I saw people literally hashtagging Yawt, and like everywhere I would go on, like Tennessee turkey or Mississippi turkey, it didn't matter where I was at. People were like hashtagging Yawt. And so I just did the search in Facebook for Yawt, and you pulled up, and I pulled up one of your videos, and I was like, oh man, this guy, he's on to something. So I got hooked on it, watching your videos like everybody else did. And I'd watch your Facebook page. You'd go from 1,000 likes to 2,000 likes to 5,000 likes to 10,000 likes. Yeah. Goodness, where's this thing going to stop? But that was pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah. I've had a good time with it. I've got to meet a lot of people, and that's the thing. I try to be positive. As I tell people, positivity breeds positivity. And that's just, I try to make a social media page of me being positive and everything that you do in a positive way, man. I get so many messages where people, man, I was having a bad day and I watched one of your videos or I watched your live feed about how positive you are. And, and I work and live just like everybody else. And it's just as hard to be positive about a lot of things. But, it's kind of like the old story of the tree, the trouble tree or the worry tree. You come home and you put your worries on that tree and you walk into the house, and when you leave to go to work in the morning, you pick up your worries and you can't remember how many worries you had, the day before. You just don't just end it, and just bring positivity. So that's what I try to do. Got a lot of kids that watch and they're always, like you said, yawting and hey, Yawt, how I kill this turkey. And I can't give you all the answers, but, just having a good time with it. That's the main thing I try to bring.
Well, you definitely bring that positive energy. I guess I was late to the party because I first saw you this year on Instagram. I saw one of your videos and I was like, man, we got to have this guy on the show, just because the energy you bring to turkey hunting. So, but you just mentioned you got a day job just like everybody else. What's your regular day like? What's your job like?
Well, I work for the city there in West Point, Mississippi, but we're supposed to call ourselves linemen. I've been doing it for 18 years, but I've learned it don't matter how many years you do it, somebody always going to tell you ain't no lineman. So we just kind of consider ourselves maintenance of the city. So we work on anything from poop fans to power lines is what I tell them. So if you want it fixed in the city, we'll come fix it.
Okay. Do you have one of those stickers on your truck with a dude climbing the pole?
No, I don't have one of them.
Yeah, I guess maybe not a lineman then, huh?
That's right. So everybody wants to be a lineman. I'm trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Are you close to going full time doing Yawt? Is that even a possibility?
I don't think so. I think it's going to just keep having a good time with it and see what happens. I mean, I got 18 years with a government job. If I can get 7 more, I'll be eligible to retire. And the way things move on and here and there nowadays, this probably won't be going on for 7 more years. May not be going on for 7 more minutes by the time we get done with this interview. Who knows? So, who knows, man? Just have fun with it while it lasts. No more than I got in it. I mean, it ain't like I invented something and got to get my money back. All I do is talk. So no more than I got in it. It ain't like I lost anything.
So I know you had a pretty good season so far. Maybe kind of give us a summary of what the season's looked like, and yeah, we'll just start with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started off in Florida this year and got down there, and people had 2 birds on their place, and I killed both of them. So
all right.
It started off pretty good, and it didn't start off real well because I was hunting next to some game area, public land, and well, the game warden comes down there on the line. I'm hunting right on the line because there's a power line. And the game warden comes down there at 9:30 in the morning trying to check folks on the public land. Well, then he sees my truck over there and he wants to check my truck. He's checking me out, and I'm hiding over in the woods. I called the landowner. I said, I ain't coming out. I said, he ain't getting me for anything. I said, a game warden can find anything to give you a ticket for it. I said, he's not finding nothing for me. So I called the landowner. He went down there and talked to him. He said, you want welcome to go over there and check him in the woods, but he ain't coming to this truck. He said, you liable to find anything to give him a ticket for it. He can't afford to get no ticket. So but we had a good time. We had a good time with that, and then come back to Mississippi, and I've killed my 3 birds in Mississippi, and I've been blessed to do that. And now we're finna head out to Kansas and Minnesota, and Iowa and Michigan and possibly Indiana. I mean, it's like a 4, 5, 6 state tour that I'm just gonna go on with Kenneth Lancaster. He's got the Given Right t-shirt. He's got the Given Right TV show, and he's part of that Bone Collector Waddell stuff. So I'm gonna go on a little trip with them and see how that goes. I hope we lay down some birds, and his show's on the Discovery Channel this year, so people might be fixing to discover what the Yawt is. So you just never know. I mean, Turtle Man made money. Surely I can make a little money.
Yeah, I believe you could do a little better than the Turtle Man. Well, I'm a turkey hunter, so I might be a little biased, but hey, let me ask you, a little bit. Let me ask you this. So you went to Florida this year. Did you get the hookup from Yawt for the invitation to Florida? That's cool.
I did. And I'm not going to lie. I get a lot of invitations. I mean, if I could do this full time, I probably would have done hunted 6 states, 8 states, maybe 10 states already. I mean, it's, but that's humbling that people want to come and want you to come to their place. Because, I mean, in Florida, man, them birds are going from $1,500 to $2,500 through an outfitter.
Yeah.
And these people just like, hey, come down here and hang out with us. We just want to hang, have a good time. And I'm like, do you have any birds? If you got the birds, man, we can hang out all day long. I got down there with 2 birds.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you have any birds left.
That's right. I was like, well, I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
That's right. Good hanging with you.
Yeah, try to get some back for next year.
So I'm taking it this guy wasn't a turkey hunter then, right?
No. They didn't care nothing about turkey hunting. They just said he had some land, had turkeys on it. Man, they fed me good. It was, man, they just cooked, just treated me like king and queen. I grew up in, as they always say, when people, when they're talking like, you from the hood? I'm like, well, I'm from the trailer hood. I got a little hood in it. It's a trailer hood. So anyway, I got to stay in my little old double wide trailer that I had down there in Florida, and kind of got back to my roots. I grew up in them trailers where, if your neighbor got whooped, you could hear it and feel bad for him. So,
yep,
it was rough.
I know that. Well, let me ask you this about Kenneth Lancaster. I remember last year on your Facebook, you were doing some Facebook Lives, and you were like calling out Kenneth, right? I mean, you're like saying, hey, let's hook up with the Yawt and see if you can kill a turkey with the Yawt. What gave you that idea to do that? And I mean, obviously that idea blossomed into something much, much more. I'd love to hear the backstory on that and how you guys continued that relationship.
Well, it actually started out, I had already killed my 3 birds. And, of course, I know Kenneth from back in the Primos day, watching him on TV and stuff like that. So one day I get a call and said, hey, man, Kenneth Lancaster's on doing a live feed wanting to know who the Yawt is. What's up with this Yawt? I just, I wasn't making fun of you or anything. I just, I'm intrigued by all that's going on, and so quick and everything. He's like, so it just kind of started. I said, well, let's make something of it, and so I'd go back and be like, man, I need to hunt with Kenneth Lee, and just back and forth, so it wasn't staged, but we made something of it to kind of keep things going and keep people, hey, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Well, it took us about 8 to 10 months. And we never did hunt because I'd already killed my turkeys and he had a schedule. But, it took us 8 or 10 months of building a relationship, talking, once, twice a day, texting back and forth all the time. And it's worked out the way he's like, hey, man, I want to help you out, and he wants to help me out, because he likes me. You know what I mean? He's been in the business for 20 years. And I know nothing about it. So I just want to be friends with everybody. So he just kind of took me under his wing and, hey, if it works out, it works out. If it don't, it don't. But, the Discovery Channel's big. It's 218 million people that's got a Discovery Channel subscription.
Wow.
Man, if 1 to 10% could watch that show and maybe see my personality, it doesn't have to be just the hunting industry that I could be involved in. I want to be involved in everything. I kind of want to be like the Kevin Hart, but the trailer hood part, just, on the trailer hood level.
I was going to compare you more to Steven Ranella because I'm pretty sure that's how he started too, as far as with the TV gig was actually on Discovery. I know me and my wife, we we turned it on. I mean, I can't remember what his show was called, like Travel to Hunt or something like that. Right. And, Ranella was out there hunting in the suburbs, kind of some crazy stuff. And we just caught on, and man, he's like caught like wildfire. So you might be the trailer hood Steven Ranella.
Yeah, you never know. But, like I said, and if it don't, and I always tell people, because my talking has got more, I got more confident in my speaking, because at first, you know, I'm still humbled. I'm just more confident in my speaking. At first, you don't know how people are going to take you, you know. So, you know, now I get to talk more, and I feel more like I can talk in front of people, and it don't matter, you know. But a lot of people, some people be like, "Oh, you're just cocky." No, sir. No, sir. I'm far from being cocky. When people want to meet you and talk to you, it's just easy to talk to people that want to meet you. I remember doing a speaking event over in Atlanta, Georgia. And I coming in, I got on the stage, and it was 200, 300, 400 maybe. I don't know. I don't want to stretch it too far, but it was a packed house for what was there. And I'm looking up there, and I'm like, man, what if they don't like me? You know, they'd hired me to be here, but what if they really, you know, some of these people don't like me? So I got up there and I said, do any of y'all do not have social media? And there was a few older people raised their hand. I said, well, I apologize. They suckered you with barbecue and sweet tea to get you here, but you fixing to learn something today. You know, and everybody just laughed and, you know, and just had a good time. And so now, you know, when these people laugh and you make people laugh and you know, they're not getting up and walking out on you, you know, or take a smoke break. They actually stay there, you know, and hold on without taking a smoke break. You know what I mean? So, it's just been crazy that you can entertain people. I love to entertain, you know. As my boss said, my old boss, he retired. He said, whoever would have thought your mouth would have got you anywhere but in trouble.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Well, with this Discovery thing, I definitely could see that, you know, you might miss out on your last 7 years. You might not get that retirement if this takes off on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd give a few people that's been interested in helping me with the Yawt, I'd give them a figure, and they just didn't like all them zeros on the end. I think it was like 6 too many.
So what's the show that Kenneth's got about? Is it just straight turkey hunting?
No. It's called The Given Right, which is pretty much, you know, it's his motto, his slogan, and it's, you know, don't ever apologize for your God-given right to hunt, you know. And it's hunting everything. It's just like it's not just like every other hunting show, but it's a hunting show. You hunt, you know, deer and everything. But so it's going to move to the Discovery this year, and it's going to be edited from. I've listened. Me and Kenneth were coming back from Pennsylvania, and he had the first episode sent to him to his phone, and he was watching it, and I was listening to it while I was in the other bed. I want to make that clear. I was in the other bed, so I couldn't watch it, but I could hear it. So,
you guys weren't spooning watching it together?
Well, my wife always makes me send her a picture. She's like, "Are y'all sleeping in the same bed?" You know, because she knows I'll cut $10. If I save $10 a minute to cut down to one bed, you know. She's like, "Y'all not sleeping in the truck," something like that. So, but it's kind of going to be edited. It's going to be edited kind of like Swamp People. You know, that you got that narration. You know what I mean? You know, everybody will say, "Well, Kenny Lee's over here in Iowa. Meanwhile, 200 miles, you know, y'all's kitchen holes or something." You know, I don't know how, but it's that demeanor. So it's going to be, you know, it's still about the hunting, but it's going to have some narrating in it, and you know, just kind of make it a little more exciting and whatnot, and kind of. But kill shots are going to be involved. That was one thing that he agreed. You know, that he wanted to make sure, you know, we're not going to edit to where, you know, we want the kill shot in. You know what I mean? Of course, you got product sponsors. You need to know. You know what I mean? People want to see that Broadhead's going to kill something, or that bullet that he's sponsored by is going to kill it. You know, they don't want to edit to where, you know, looks like you're shooting somebody's yard bird.
So how did y'all get hooked up with the Discovery Channel? I'm just really curious on this one.
Now that I'm not sure. You know, when I first started talking to him, he was on the Sportsman or Pursuit or one of them, and I think the Discovery Channel wanted four shows, and you had to interview. And I guess they put their name in the hat, and they liked what he had to say and offer and whatnot. So, like I said, I don't talk a whole lot of business part on that. You know, I'm just there kind of like for the ride. You know, I don't make no money. I don't get involved in all that, you know, but I got a few sponsors hopefully coming. You know, everybody can fill my garage up with product, but product don't pay my light bill, and it don't send my boy to the school he goes to either. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've been talking to Adam and I about the podcast, because we're having some of those same conversations.
So I know how it is. Yeah, we'll give you a product, So, but I try to deal with some local people, I don't know if you've seen, but Squincher's sharing a lot of my stuff, and they're just like 20 minutes up the road from me. And I've had a couple meetings with Squincher, and I mean, it ain't no big money being talked. It really ain't no money being talked. We just been talking, and that's all I want to be as part of. When people can share my stuff, when companies want to share my stuff and see me as I don't say a spokesman, but you know what I mean. It's like a company wants to share your stuff or wants you to be part of their stuff. That means something, and maybe to just help me get out, help me get further in what I want to do. So, I mean, I pig trap too, man. I catch a bunch of hogs. I shared a thing today. I got like 4,000 more views. I got 1 million views on me trapping hogs. There ain't I don't think, I may be wrong, there ain't nobody out there that's got 1 million views on trapping some hogs.
Yeah.
Just in general, just general trapping or certain hunting. It's got to be, you pretty much got to sling a spear at a deer to get 1 million views nowadays. I'm over here just trapping hogs in a pen, and but it's just your personality, your persona that people can relate to, just old country boy.
Well, you might have some like celebrity connections and all these YouTube videos and huge social media following, but what you hadn't had yet was an interview on the Down South Hunting podcast. So
That's
I
true.
think now you're probably just going to have sponsors beating your door down.
It's going to be another level.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm at my mother-in-law's house. If they could just get her door instead of mine, because I can't really afford to fix my door if they're going to beat it down.
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest here. I'm not the least bit interested in hogs, but you made a hog trapping video very interesting and entertaining. So I know why you got 1 million views. It's that was good stuff.
That's right. And like I said, a lot of it's just, I get paid. I trap for hire. So I've always trapped a lot of things. And then when I got hooked up with this boar buster trap system and hog, I want to throw out that hog eye camera system, which is a live feed. You can sit there and watch deer, hogs, or whatever at night that you want to watch. It's a live feed. And that's addictive because you'll stay up all night watching deer eating corn and big old bucks. And you'll be like, man, I wish I could go down there and shoot him, but I'd sure get in trouble.
The game warden would be back.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I love our game warden and stuff like that. But it's funny, man. They watch my stuff, and a lot of them like it. They're just not allowed to say that they like it, but they do. They watch my stuff. Yeah, they watch my stuff, but they're watching it because they're kind of watching me mess up. And it's like, I'm not messing up. You're looking for the wrong reason. So we told them we're going to get them some. They're going to have T-shirts made. If they ever catch me doing wrong, they're going to have T-shirts that says, I caught the Yawt.
Oh, gosh. Have you you did a Yawt at a turkey? Have you tried that yet?
No, well, I just when I talk, or if I have done one, but I didn't get it on video. Let me tell you, when you put it on video, you actually have to hit the record button, and I didn't. So, that's how it works. You got to hit the record button, and I had a turkey in full strut, and I was going to shoot him, and I was just going to go, and make him stick his head up, just for a video, and then I shot the turkey and never hit the record button. So. But it's just
at least you got shot the turkey part.
Yeah,
that's right. I shot him in the head, broke his feet. That's what everybody likes to hear.
Did you come up with that?
Well, it happened. I shot the turkey low, trying to record. I had my cell phone on my left knee and my gun on my right knee, and when I shot, I'm trying to look at my phone so I can see the barrel in my phone, and I'm kind of aiming, and trying to do all this. Well, I shot the turkey pretty much in the chest. And the shot went low, and it broke his feet out from under him. And it was just part of that story. It was like every story I got, there's a reason I say something. It's because it's part of something. Unless I say I'm baiting, then I'm just I didn't mean that. But yeah, just like it just come out. Shot him in the head, broke his feet. But we may make some T-shirts, get that done. I don't know. We may change it to shot him in the feet and broke his feet or something. Just to have some stuff out there. Like I said, people want to buy merchandise, and that's another thing. I try to make some money on merchandise, but I also try to be good-hearted. I'm not struggling for nothing. I'm just an old poor boy like anybody else, a hard-working boy, but man, or whatever you want to call it. But all the money I've made off my merchandise, I'd give 100% back to something. I mean, something that has to do with kids. The first round I give it to a little 8 or 9, 10-year-old girl in our town. She has leukemia. she's having to stay up in Minnesota. She's already been up for like 8 months. Her mama she's a single mom, had to quit her job, go up there, stay with her, you know, and, so I donated my portion of the money, you know, to her mom, you know, to her, so they can, you know, stay up there. And like I said, doctor bills will be paid one day, maybe not, whatever. You can't pay those bills, you know, but you still got to eat. You still got to be able to buy gas. And that's where my little bit come in. The last time my boy plays travel baseball, everybody can't afford to be on a baseball. I mean, it's struggle playing travel baseball, but you want your kid to have those benefits of life of being able to do it. So I donated the money to the team, you know, and help out with the dues and stuff. So it all goes to something. It just ain't all coming home to me.
Man, next time you get ready to do something like that, where it's for a charity or something like that, you should definitely let us know. I mean, we don't have a million reach, but we definitely like to help support you and that cause in any way that we possibly can. So if you could just shoot us a message and make sure we know about it, and we'll push it on the podcast, social media, and all that good stuff as well.
I get a lot of hate sometimes on my social media, and they're like, why is this page just all about you? Why don't you help younger kids or less fortunate kids? I'm like, I do. I got a church that I help do veterans hunts, kids hunts, handicap hunts. We raise money for less fortunate kids. We you know, we do all that. I just don't promote it unless I'm asked, because I don't want to look like I'm trying to, hey, look at me, what I'm doing.
Well, I'm sure you know as good as anybody else on social media. Haters are going to hate. So there's nothing you're going to be able to do right anyway.
That's right. I tell them, don't just go watch a live feed. Don't take some old silly video and you think that's who I am all the time. Yeah. It is me, but it's just, you know, it's just jacked up me when I'm excited. You know, watch a live feed. You can see I calm down just a little bit, you know.
So what kind of property are you typically hunting? You hunt public land and private? You got family property? Where do you usually hunt there in Mississippi?
Yeah, well, here in Mississippi, I got my wife's family owns some land. So I usually hunt their land, but, and I just got some more private land. I very rarely hunt public anymore. Now this year, I used to have a bunch of land, and this year after the Yawt started, a lot of people come in and leased up land that I was hunting. And just for strictly cause of they thought it was like prime land, because, you know, you take a guy that killed 3 turkeys in 2 weeks and went crazy with these videos. Oh man, he's got the best land. Where does he hunt? Well, word gets out. Well, hey, he's always hunted over here. Hey, he's always hunted over here. Next thing you know, I'm down to a couple of 50-acre blocks, you know, some old widow lady owns, and I just keep smiling and bringing them chicken and dumplings, turkey and dumplings my wife makes to keep her happy. Maybe I can keep them old 50 acres.
Well, that must be working out right. You still tagged out plenty early.
Oh yeah, one lady called me the other day. She said, "I seen 5 turkeys in my yard, and you come over and get them." I was like, "Well, I'm kind of tagged out, but I'll bring my boy by."
How old's your kid?
11 years.
Okay.
Travel baseball player in football and basketball.
Is he into turkey hunting too?
He is. He's killed several, but he's into this fishing right now. He can do all that kind of by himself. And I went out there the other day watching him fish, and I was just like, wow, I didn't even know he was that good. And it ain't much catching them old fish in the pool. But when you see a kid that's reeling him in, you know what I mean? It's reeling him in and then yanking them hooks out of his mouth like it ain't nothing, and you kind of realize how good the kid is. So he said, "Man, I think I want to be a professional fisherman. You think you can help me out?" I said, "Son, I'll take you to every pool bank there is in Clay County, but we ain't buying no boat."
Yeah.
Every time I get in a boat, something happens bad.
I guess he's going to have to get sponsored. He's going to have to start his own YouTube page and get some sponsors from a boat company.
That's right. He's going to have to, because I'm telling you, every time I go, I went DC fishing for the first time this year, me and him, through a Yawt invite, and the motors quit after we got out there in the middle of the ocean. And, took us, I felt like 3 days to get in.
What's he think about all this social media stuff? I mean, does he and all his friends follow you, and does he talk to you about it, or is he kind of embarrassed by it?
He don't have like no social media, Facebook or anything like that, but how do you say, like, my wife, she just kind of, you know, everybody asks, how does your wife not stop laughing? My wife don't laugh at me, you know. She doesn't. You don't be funny to her. she's a hoot, but she don't get tickled at me too much. You know, I guess she done lived with it for 18 years. But But my son, he didn't really like it. I say he didn't like it. He didn't really get into it till one time when Mississippi State played LSU this past year, and it was a big game, being the beginning of the season, and the tickets were going for $100 out there, and we were just out hanging out. I didn't have no money to be paying $200 for us to get in, and we were just out there throwing the football around. This guy walks up and he says, "Hey man, are you the Yawt?" I said, "Well, I try to be." I was like, "I don't owe you no money, do I?" He goes, "No, man, no." He said, "You're not going in the game." I said, "Man, I ain't got no money to get in there." He said, "I'll tell you what, just hold up." And he come back, and he was a security guard, what he was. And he come back, and he got this other higher up guy. He said, "Y'all go ahead on in and have a good time." But my son, from that point, he said, "We got in that game because you were the Yawt." So now every time we go to a game, I took him to a Mississippi State baseball game the other day, and they got to get on the field for the national anthem and all that. And he goes, "Hey," the baseball player said, "Yeah." He goes, "Y'all know who my daddy is?" "Who's your daddy?" He said, Yawt. He said, "Man, we got to meet him." He thought that was just crazy. He's like, "They want to meet you, Daddy. You got to go down there on the field." I said, "No, we'll stay up here."
He's gonna have you come out just tailgating to just tell you got to yell Yawt over and over again until y'all get in the stadium.
That's right. He's my agent promoter now. So y'all know who my daddy is. That's what he says.
Oh, that's pretty cool to hear from a kid, though.
That's right. He's a good kid.
All right, so we didn't talk about this ahead of time, so I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. But maybe you can tell me about one of your favorite hunting stories.
Ooh, favorite, man.
Just tell me any story. It doesn't have to be a favorite. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I tell you what. I mean, I've had, and that's what a lot of people always ask me, like, "What's your favorite or what's the story?" And I probably forgot about more turkeys I've killed than I can remember. Not that I kill a whole lot. Not that I kill a lot. But, man, I tell you, I guess the most rememberable one will be the one when I went to Houston. I believe it was Houston, Missouri, the town. That's where I got shot in the face at. And we were on private land, 4,000 acres of private land. And we got there and we pulled up to the gate with he wasn't a guide. He was just a guy that was going to show us where the property was. And we went over there. He's like, 4,000 acres. You can't run off this place. The hills are so high. I said, all right. Well, evidently he didn't know me because, I can run pretty good, especially when the folks holler, "Hey, you, you got to go. Gone." So that ain't my name. My name's David. So we got on that land, and after about 3 days of thunderstorms and just couldn't kill them old ridge runners, man. I had a guy with me. He wasn't as fast as I was, but the last day I flew with that thunder. I was tired of the thunderstorms. And I just told him, I said, "Look, today I'm gonna run this ridge, run by so fast, I'm gonna snatch their beards off, and we're gonna come back and hunt them 2 years from now." I said, "I'm ready to kill them and be done and get out of here." And first thing at light, they gobbled. I just took off. Got down there, and they just kept running those ridges like they just would not stop. Finally, I called up to them, and I run at them so hard, I slid up on the old pine top, and then blowed over. And when I heard them gobble again, I raised up. By that time, boom! But it was my gun. I could feel things went black. I could see it went black, but I couldn't. I thought my gun had exploded. I guess what I'm saying. I knew it wasn't my gun, but I felt like my shell had exploded in the gun. So I laid down and I was trying to figure it out. And I remember telling folks that, when Jesus comes, you think you're supposed to see the light. You're supposed to see somebody walking in, but I couldn't see nothing but dark. And by that time, I'm trying to figure out, am I dead? Because if I am, I don't see Jesus, and I believe in Jesus. So by the time I heard them footsteps, doom, 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 I was like, all right now, it's still dark and I'm hearing the footsteps. By the time I heard, ow. Well, me growing up, when you watch TV, that sound meant Eddie Salter done killed a turkey. And I could feel the pain in my face. And now I thought Eddie Salter done shot me. So I come raising up. I pulled my face mask down, and there was a fellow over there, and he picked up 2 long beards by the neck. I called it the Yankee choke, choke, because us Southern folks, we usually just grab by the feet, throw them over our shoulders, I mean, unless you're trespassing, a lot of people grab by the head because they don't spur you while they're still flopping while you throw them back over the fence, But, I don't know nothing about all that, but, that's what I heard. So anyway, that dude walked over and got them turkeys, and he walked off, and I could hear my buddy holler, "You get him!" You know, I could hear him way over there. I just laid there, man. I had a little bit of blood, a lot more sweat than blood coming out of my face. And I got up, tucked my tail up, you know, and went back down there and got it. He's like, "Man, what happened?" I said, "Man, I got shot." He said, "Well, it looked like you've been shot, you know." He's like, "You didn't say nothing to him." I said, "Say something to him." I said, "You didn't see them signs when we walked in." He said, "What signs?" I said, "Them signs that said $1,000 trespassing fine." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I wasn't finna get shot and pay $1,000. He said, "Was you trespassing?" He said, "Was you trespassing?" I said, "I don't know. I just wasn't taking a chance." I said, "I didn't feel like I always felt like I run 1,000 because I didn't feel like it was done 4,000 yet." But that's kind of the most memorable hunt I've ever done, you know, is kind of getting shot in the face by another hunter who actually ended up being the trespasser. And, you know, so, but all I knew, I was going home. I thought it was time. That's where mama was, that's where my boy was, and I was headed back home. You know, I felt like it was safe for that.
Man, that's tough. So did anyone ever figure out who that guy was that shot you, or did you just figure out that he was trespassing and not you?
Yeah. We called the landowner and we drove around there, and it's an old single wide trailer. It was on the back side of that place, and I guess that guy he knew there wasn't nobody hunting in there, and I guess he just got in there on him and just got lucky. You know, he knew the lay of the land. But I went a long way to get them turkeys from his house, from his trailer. It wasn't no peace. You know, if I probably would have run another 200 or 300 yards, I probably would have run up on his trailer. You know, but so they talked to him or whatever. But I didn't ever worry with it. You know, it wasn't my deal. I just want to get out of there.
So you've been shot in the face. I got to know, are you doing any fanning or reaping any turkeys, or is that something you would not do?
No. Well, I tell you what, I reaped and fanned some turkeys, 2 turkeys this year. The first time I took one of those little flex tone decoy thing and I put a little my real fan in it. And I've been on private land reaping them, fanning them out in a big open field. So when they're in the middle of that field, I get on my belly and I just start crawling out there to them. Now I don't do it on no tree line, no public land, nothing like that. I don't care. I just be honest with you. I don't care as long as it's legal. I don't care. You know, probably 100 years ago or whatever, you probably shoot them with a 223. You know, back before they made decoys. You know, I don't know. As long as if it's legal, you know,
I think you still can in Texas.
Safe, yeah, if you feel safe. Well, you can't crawl on a dang turkey out there in Texas. No way. The rock is too hard and the cactus too sticky. So, you ain't gonna be fanning nothing out there. No way. But you know, if it's legal, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. This first year I tried it. You know, I've always crawled up on turkey. That's why I tell people. You know, they're always like, "Show us how you call. Hit it with a call. Hit this call. Show this call. Use this call." I'm like, well, honestly, I don't call up a whole lot of turkeys. I crawl up on them. That's just the way I grew up. You know, I used to try to play with them and call in competitions and or not me being in a competition, but just be out there in the yard with your brothers or your friends and trying to out-call one another, you know. But, man, I can crawl up on a turkey. You keep your face down and your hips down, you crawl right up on a turkey. And this year I just did it with a fan just to say I did it, you know. You know, a lot of people hate on it, but, you know, it ain't their turkey. It's my turkey once I killed it. So the way I wanted to do it. And just hope everybody stays safe. I wouldn't do it with my kids, nothing like that. You know, if I thought there was a chance, you know, I don't want to put him in a position, but, you know, sometimes I just feel like if you're using a fan and you get shot, I mean, it happens. It happens. I got shot, but I was just crawling up on him. But man, you got to be sure enough close to get shot fanning and somebody not really paying attention if you're doing it in an open field. Now I could probably see it in the woods if somebody was trying to fan in the hardwood or something like that, but I hadn't been in that predicament or position yet, so I just hope it don't happen to nobody as far as getting shot.
So have you had a chance to go out west and hunt elk yet?
I have not. I wanted to. I'll take it back. I tell you what, I call it the most expensive hiking trip I've ever been on in my life. Is what I call it. That's why people always ask me, "Have you hunted elk?" No. And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have." Man, I got loaded up one time. My buddy Tommy G from over here in West Point, he said he always been out there going out there for 10 years. He went out there with a guide one time, but it's public ground. So once he learned the ground, he just stopped paying the guide, and you go out there public land anyway. So he asked me, well, I want to go. Sure. So, man, we got loaded up. I'm going to tell you, that dude, he's got that high dollar stuff. Like, he's been doing it for so long that he can, gradually buy the good stuff, like a sleeping bag that weighs like 4 ounces. That's good for like 1,000,000 degrees, below zero. I had a Scooby-Doo, that was good for like 80 degrees. It wasn't good below 80 degrees, and it weighed like 6 pounds. Well, those pounds, those ounces, all that adds up at the end. When his backpack weighs 44 pounds and we got to hike 8 miles up to camp, where mine weighs, 104 pounds and I got to, go 8 miles up the mountain. But, I got up there and, we split ways the first couple of days and I almost killed one, but they told me you couldn't shoot no spike, and it was the biggest spikes I ever seen in my life. They have 4-foot spikes on them. I mean, how could that not be legal?
Yeah.
So anyway, well, after about 2 or 3 days, I got, they call it altitude sickness. Evidently, that's when you're too high and, you feel real low. So I got sick. I couldn't hold down the water. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do nothing. So one day we separated and I didn't had enough. I couldn't kill him. I couldn't walk. I was just throwing up water. So I packed my tent up and I was going to go back down. I took the rocks. We didn't have but just a few pebble rocks up there. We think on the biggest mountain there was. At the very top, you find more rocks. But I had just enough rocks to type out truck, T-R-U-K. I didn't even have enough rocks for the seat. So when he come back down, he's seen it. So he called up and I said, man, I ain't gonna make it. I said, I can't do it. He said, I'm gonna make sure you get down. Well, it takes 5 hours to go down the mountain. Well, on the way down, I fall down a rock slide and bust my left arm, but now I can't even hold my bow. So I get down there and there's some guys from Arkansas. Texarkana, and it was four big old boys, and they was in a big old 4-door Chevrolet truck, had a 16-foot trailer, had 2 Rangers, a Razor or something on it, had that thing look like a Clampets coming down the road. And I said, man, they said, we're fixing to leave. I said, well, would you mind giving me a ride to Gunnison to the airport? I said, I'm going to go by the emergency room, get checked in, I'm going to get a ride to the airport, and I'm going to fly home. I said, I done had enough of this. I've been up there about a week, and I couldn't handle it. So he said, yeah, man. I said, man, right now, I'm hurting so bad. My arm hurts so bad, I just can't even see straight. He said, well, I had back surgery about 4 years ago. I still got some medicine in this glove compartment if you want one of these pills. I said, man, I said, well, you know what? I said, I might take one. I said, I need to relieve this pain. Well, you know what? 17 hours later, I was in Texarkana, Arkansas. I done woke up. I called my wife. She said, "You get one, baby?" I said, "No, baby, but I got a ride. I need you to come see me the rest of the way." She drove 8 hours. Come pick me up. This is the most expensive hiking trip I ever been on in my life. It's only you would hitchhike with 4 folks you don't even know. I was like, well, they didn't bother me,
I hope.
Yeah, sounds like you're on a bad trip.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So I woke up in Texarkana, and then I had to wait. Then I had to hang out with them folks for 8 hours, until my wife got there. So she told me, she said, from now on, for between getting shot in the face in them hilly mountains of Missouri and falling down the mountains of Colorado, she said, stay on the flat ground from now on. Just stay on the flat ground. So I'm going to listen to it for a little bit. But I do want to go back and elk hunt. I mean, I don't care if I shoot one out of the jacuzzi of a cabin. I just want to go. I just want to go. But, it would be pretty cool because it's like the same interaction. It's just a bigger animal. Turkeys you interact with, elk you interact with. So that's pretty cool.
That's why I was wanting to know, just to see what you thought about it and what your preference was. If you'd been able to go and if you were successful, which I've been, and I haven't been successful, but Mike and I have been talking about, which would we rather do? We even had this discussion one time talking about, would you rather go elk hunting for 1 week and give up your entire deer season if you had that on the table? And I said, yeah, I believe I would rather just go elk hunting for 1 week and give up the entire deer season. So we've been having a good time about that. We've been asking some guests about it. So I'll ask you this. If you had to give up November so that you could hunt in April for turkeys, would you do it?
I probably would because I really like that turkey hunting and I like better weather. And also, in the state of Mississippi, you can run over a deer, so you ain't really give up nothing. You just run over a deer when you're going down the road. You just meet.
How much do you hunt the same properties for deer as well?
I do. I hunt my wife's property. It's actually my wife's grandmother's property, but she just passed away a couple weeks ago. So I guess it'll be my mother-in-law's wife's, ever how that works out. All I know is I don't own nothing. I bought a pair of boots the other day at the co-op, and I had to charge them. So I don't even own the pair of boots I got on right now yet.
What kind of deer hunt do you like to do? You hunt out of box blinds, or you guys do food plots out there, or what do you like to do?
Yeah, we do them country boy food plots. You know, you have a little acre here, half acre here, and I usually hunt out lock-ons. This year I got hooked up with Sad Daddy Hunting Blinds, which is a shooting house. So I got one of those, and it's a jam up shooting blind, and I can take my son out there, and he don't have to worry about being cold. Keep him interested in it, because one thing about my child, he's thin like me, so it gets cold easy, and that just, you'll break a kid if you try to keep him out there in that cold. So ease him into that, keep him in the blind, keep him warm. Hopefully he'll harvest something, kill something, and if he does, eventually he'll just keep evolving into how he wants to hunt. He's not going to be hunting out of no lock-on right now anyway. Usually we hunt off the ground. So now he can get in there and kind of feel like he's at home, but not at home, just until he can get up there to that 16, 17-year-old stage where he can start going really by himself. And then he can figure out how he wants to do it.
Are you kind of the same way deer that you are with turkey? If it's legal, you're shooting it, or are you trying to kill mature deer, or what's your deal with that?
On my property, I run about 6 or 8 cameras. Usually I go for those, what people call now, I guess, those shooter bucks. I really like hunting big bucks, mature bucks. It can be. I shot a 4-point that had 18-inch spread, 21-inch main beams a couple of years ago. So, but he was like, I don't know, ever how old he was. He was real mature, 200-pound deer. But I like big deer. Now, if people come to my property to hunt, I show them the pictures of the deer that, are Facebook profile worthy, I guess you would say, or you can just shoot whatever you feel like you want to shoot, if you're happy with it. So, but this picture right here, what you hold it between, with your arms stretched out, man, that could be your next profile picture, well, because it will be mine.
So we talked to Michael Leake a couple weeks ago, and he kind of gave us some advice for hunters on social media, and I know you're real involved with that as well. So do you have any advice for hunters as far as what to post or how to act or that kind of stuff on social media?
Well, I try to, as y'all may have seen, I do a lot of trapping. So I have, and trapping is about as most sensitive subject you could put on social media without pretty much sticking an animal in the throat with a knife that's live. It's real hard. So if I can make that positive and just try to make it as friendly as possible, sometimes I would even say, which my grandma is strong, but if your grandma wouldn't want to see it, don't post it. As far as what I do, sit down on the hate, because all it does is when hate starts, negativity starts, next thing you know, people are coming out of their shell that they shouldn't be. I like to clean deer up. I do like to stretch them arms out, make him look big. I'm kind of thin, so I can get in the rack and make him even bigger, so, stuff like that. But I do like to clean them up. I know hunting, everybody knows hunting, that's part of, you shoot a deer and you pull up there and there's blood everywhere. That is part of it. That is real. I completely understand it. Me personally, I like to drag him from where he's laying, clean his nose up, put his tongue back in his mouth, and take a nice picture with him. That's what I like. Something you can put, because I like pictures. And I learned that because when I grew up with my wife, she back with those little Rolodex cameras or whatever you had to go get developed. She took 100,000 pictures a year. It was just crazy. Right? And I just kind of got into it. So I like the best picture. I like something that's going to sit on the barroom table or whatever. It's just, man, I remember that deer, because when it comes down to it, if you got it in your house and you walk up there and it's got blood struck all over his face, and his tongue's cut off and not stuck in his mouth, a lot of people don't want to see that, but they'll be like, just want a nice picture. And that's what I do. So you can if you're going to be on social media, you can do anything to keep the negativity down, not because that you don't care. It just may not bring out the negativity in other people or yourself. You get so tired of it that whether you show out or you may just delete the picture and then you just deleted your memory, for no reason, when it could have just been avoided. Now, like I said, that may be, people may say, well, you're just giving in. Not giving in. I just know me. I'm not a fighter, but I will fight. So,
obviously you're all over the internet, but what's some of the best places to find you?
Just on Yawt on social media, on Facebook, and then on Instagram. I am, what am I? David Ellis Yawt, yeah. And I had to get that because everybody else gets everything else. It amazes me. Come out with Yawt, and I'm slow about getting stuff started. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna get Instagram. I'm gonna be Yawt. Nope, it's taken. Hey, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get hit him with the Yawt. Nope, that's taken. I'm gonna get Yawt times 2. Nope, that's taken. I'm like, who are y'all? You're not the Yawt. I'm the Yawt. What are you doing? Same. I got Snapchat the other day, and I was like, Yawt. That's taken. Oh, got Yawt. Oh, it's Yawt. I'm Yawt. So I'm the real Yawt.
I bet if you look up hashtag Yawt, you'll be able to find you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got I looked up the other day. I hashtag Yawt the other day just to see, and I was like 2,600 Yawt. I was like, really? I'm like, really? Well, half of mine. So.
Well, David, we appreciate you coming on the podcast. We wish you all the best and the best of luck here in the next few days as you travel around the United States hunting and your new venture with Kenneth. I definitely hope the best for you guys, but I appreciate you coming on.
Well, I sure appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Hope I didn't talk too much.
Man, I enjoyed it. This was fun.
Yep, I laughed more on this episode than any other one so far. That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, I sure appreciate it. I appreciate the invite. And like I said, if anybody's out there want to check out Yawt, check out the stores, please share, keep it going, because a country boy, a humble country boy, is just trying to make it like anybody else. And with a God-given gift that I've been given and a personality and the way I talk and just the way I talk to people, I just hope it can go somewhere. And if it can't no more and I got it in, I'm still blessed and still got a home, still got a job. So.
Well, there's nothing I'm going to be able to add to that. We're out down south.